The word educate comes from two Latin morphemes, ex, which means out, through, or forth, and ducere, which means to lead. Thus, the ancestors of old Europe believed that education was the process of leading a person out, through, and forth into the world. In this sense, to be educated is to have been led effectively into the world. But where exactly are we leading our children? Like a mantra, we lead our children to get good grades so they can go to college, so they can get a job, so they can make money, so they can be materially secure. But isn't it strange that nowhere in this trajectory do we mention the values of compassion, collaboration, kindness, humility, respect for the earth, a sense of spiritual belonging, or peace? The result is that we have many educated peoples, and yet still so many wars. We have many PhDs, and yet still so much homelessness, poverty, and wealth inequality. We have so many graduates, and yet many of us do not feel a sense of fulfillment. We have so many schools, and still so little unity among the women and men of the earth. So many sciences and professions, and yet all around us the earth deteriorates, threatening the future of nations across the globe. In our valiant attempts to educate the next generation, where exactly are we leading our children? And does the current definition of an educated person still serve the earth, serve humanity, and most importantly, serve the soul? Let us see if we can create a definition of the educated person that appropriately addresses the most pressing issues of our time. Let us explore an alternate definition of an educated person, inspired by the worldview of the Diné, my mother's ancestors. In this culture, one of the highest principles is that of ke, or kinship. Ke is also translated as harmony and as love. Through the lens of ke, we seek to acknowledge and honor all things as our family, as our kin. We seek to weave relationships between people and communities tighter, based on the assumption that we are stronger together. Thus, from this perspective, the educated person is she or he who sees the world as their family and as their friend. They support others as they would support their own mother, their own brother. They seek to move in the world as a child of all parents and as a parent of all children. A second major principle in this culture is that of ajoba, kindness, humility, and generosity. In this culture, which thrived in the harshest deserts for thousands of years, we value generosity and kindness above all things. The giving spirit was the healthy spirit. When we all gave and shared our resources together, the nation as a whole experienced abundance and true wealth in every sense. From this view, the educated person is also a generous person, always seeking to contribute to the whole, and always elevated when they put themselves in the back of the line. A third guiding word from Diné, the Navajo language, is Asdzáán. In this language, this word means the earth, or the world. Notice that within this word is also the word Asdzáán, which means woman. Like most cultures, the Diné view the earth as a woman, because from her comes life. The earth is seen as a nurturing and loving mother that allows us to give birth to and sustain our children. Another word for the earth is at-aid, which means little girl. This is because the earth is as precious, as fragile, and as beautiful as a little girl at times. And from this view, the educated person is also a person who respects the earth as they would respect their mother. The educated person is also a person who treats the earth with as much tenderness, love, and care as one would treat a little girl. A fourth principle that I want to mention, which guides traditional Diné education, is the principle of Honjon. Some translate Honjon to mean beauty, but it can also mean something closer to joy. Honjon is the deepest essence of human existence that Diné people strive to recognize in every moment. Joy is the natural result that occurs when we are able to see with an unclouded mind and clear eyes the beauty of creation, which breathes all around us and within us. It is that moment when you finally understand the grand splendor that you are a part of. As such, the educated person from this perspective is the person who is able to hold joy in their hearts, the person who is able to see. This also implicitly indicates that the educated person is able to heal themselves from trauma so that they may find joy and beauty once again. One way in which we instill these four ideas and principles into a child is through two major ceremonies: the first laugh ceremony and the manhood or womanhood ceremony. When a baby first laughs, it signals to the community that they have experienced and expressed honjon, joy. The beauty of their first laugh is honored by a great ceremony with all the child's family members and community members invited. The person who helped the baby to laugh first must host this ceremony. In this ceremony, they give the infant a basket full of salt, and each person comes and takes a piece of salt for their health. In this way, the infant learns very early about generosity, and the infant learns how to give to her or his people, and they learn that generosity is a sister to joy, and that the community is a family united by the salt of the earth. The second major graduation in a person's development is their womanhood or manhood ceremony. In this rite of passage, which for a female occurs when she receives her first monthly cycle, and for a man occurs when his voice begins to change, these events are joyful celebrations of the child's entrance into a new world of themselves. It is a spiritual support system for the great physical, intellectual, and spiritual transformation that they undergo during puberty. One aspect of the womanhood ceremony is that she must grind corn for 4 days to make a large corn cake. This cake is baked in the earth with a corn husk lining. At the end of her ceremony, she gives the whole cake away to her community. She cannot even have a single bite. She is learning ajoba, kindness, humility, and generosity. She is becoming educated. We are leading her into a life of beauty, fulfillment, and the ability to overcome challenge. The bigger the cake, it is supposed, the more generous of a person she will be for the rest of her life. A beautiful belt woven of dyed wool is given to her to symbolize her graduation into kindness. For the young man, he enters into the sweat lodge with the older gentlemen. In that steamed lodge, he learns from them all the ways that he can honor and respect the women and the earth as sacred living beings. In this way, he finds the joy that comes from being a protector of the sacred. He learns compassion, he learns honor, he learns tenacity, and he learns joy. In this way, he becomes an educated person. A silver, turquoise, and black leather bow guard is gifted to him at the end of this ceremony to symbolize his graduation into kindness. Notice that none of these important ways of educating Diné children involve core subjects or desk work. It is assumed that all of these 4 values and more must be laid down first as a healthy foundation before a person can adequately leverage their education in school or college for the good of humanity. It is only with these values instilled in the child that any Western education is worthwhile. For without compassion, we may wield the skills we learn in college in ways that harm ourselves, harm others, and harm the earth. Therefore, there is a primacy. Values first and skills later. Without values to guide these skills, the skills are empty, hollow, and sometimes even dangerous. Some of us have lost our ceremonies due to the destruction of our ancestral cultures and homelands. If so, how might we reinvent ways to teach our children the importance of these values? How might we lead our children in a new direction that helps and heals all things? As a Diné, Cheyenne, and Scandinavian woman of mixed blood, I am informed by different cultures, vastly different than Western American culture, to generate a new definition of what it means to be an educated person that works to address the most pressing issues of our times. I believe education is a process of discovery, an exploration of who we are as children of Mother Earth and Father Sky. This involves moving through each phase, each exquisite phase of human development, as we are designed to do by the loving and benevolent creative force of nature. Our task as educators is to simply create safe and supportive spaces where these processes of self-actualization can unfold naturally for each child. I believe this exploration of outer and inner nature is meant to be a challenging yet wondrous journey, ending with one great final lesson, that we are here on this earth to love, to honor, and to celebrate each other, ourselves, and the mighty earth. We are here to learn how to love.